Alrighty, so the World Cup final matchup is now all set as this 2022 World Cup final will be France versus Argentina after France were able to win 2-0 in this one over Morocco. And, well, we definitely will give credit to France, of course, advancing to their second World Cup final. I gotta first talk about Morocco, of the fact that what an incredible journey this Moroccan team has been, and especially the fans have really showed up and have given them the support and them creating a massive upset and go on this incredible run. But as the old saying goes, all great run eventually will hit the clock will strike midnight, and that for Morocco the clock struck midnight in this game against France, where we also talk about a classic cliche in the semifinal where a game could be determined by some close fine margin, and in this case, France were able to win those fine margin battle. And for Morocco, we talk about throughout this tournament, this is probably the most stingiest defense out of every team in this tournament, with them only conceding one goal coming into this one, and that goal wasn't even a goal that they conceded by opposition. It was an own goal. So yeah, this was definitely a big chance for them to test against one of the best attack in the world, that is France. But unfortunately, it was pretty clear that early on in this game, that Moroccan backline, I think maybe nerves kind of got the better of them. Though I will say that because of the fact that Morocco is in this one, and we know that pretty much all the game that Morocco has played in this World Cup has been pretty much a majority Moroccan fans, and kind of like almost a home game for Morocco. It was the case again in this one. I mean, it was loud inside the stadium, as most of the Moroccan fans were making a lot of noise. And, not just Moroccan fans, but maybe even some people that jumped in the Moroccan bandwagon, which I don't blame them, because, this is just an incredible story and just a historic moment, not just for Morocco, but for the continent of Africa, and also for the Arab world to see a team carrying the flag and have a chance to play in a World Cup final. And I think that kind of gave them some adrenaline rush with the way that they kind of had a lot of possession early in this one, which, I think it's part of that, but also maybe this seems like it was a tactical thing that France did. And one thing I will say about France in this World Cup, watching all their World Cup games, this is a team that is not afraid to kind of start off slow and maybe give possession to their opposition. Almost like they're trying to fool the opposition, that they might have a good chance against the defending champion. And in this case, I think France decided to kind of give Morocco some possession, because they know Morocco is a team that is dangerous whenever they go on the counterattack, and whenever they of course have set piece opportunity. And if Morocco is able to have most of the possession, they can't really go on the counterattack or even get those set piece opportunity unless they can get into the final third. So yeah, I think that was a good tactical strategy that France decided to do, trying to kind of ask Morocco to see, well, you've been so great on the counterattack and on set piece, but now can you break us down if you have the possession? Well, it turns out that at least for the early part, that was a no. And in the horde of Morocco, they actually gave up the first goal, and it came in just the 5th minute of the game as Theo Hernandez scored to give France a 1-0 lead. It's the first goal that Morocco has scored where their opposition was able to score. Again, the only goal that they conceded against Canada was an own goal, and it's also the first time that they have trailed in this tournament. And it also was not a great goal to concede for Morocco, because again, just sloppy play in the back and just giving the ball away in their own half, which, by the way, that's going to be a phrase I'm going to use a lot, at least in the first half, because man, that back line was just gifting France chances by turning the ball over way too much. And again, I don't know if that has anything to do maybe with nerves, with the way that this is a semifinal and a lot of these players have probably never been into this big moment like that. Maybe the nerves kind of got the better of that. But I will say this, Morocco, they did respond well, because after Lloris denied Orhotny from long range, Ziyech puts it wide in the near post in the 16th minute. As mentioned, they responded well and they were pressing to try to get the equalizer, but then they almost conceded another goal inside 20 minutes as Giroud actually struck the post in the near post there. And I mean, in row, for how stingy this Moroccan backline has been, it's been very shaky early. And that chances that Giroud had, it all came from a turnover from Morocco. Fofana then puts a wild shot that goes way wide before Mbappe actually went through on goal there, but his weak shot was actually clear off the line. But they didn't do a good job in terms of clearing that ball off the line. It goes right into Giroud, who just puts that wide there. And again, besides the fact that they did a bad job in terms of clearing their lines there, the Mbappe opportunity all came because of a turnover from Morocco. And it's getting to a point where I had to write, they got to stop turning the ball over, because if they want to keep in this game and keep it at just a 1-0 deficit, they cannot keep giving these ball away, because it's one thing to give the ball away, and that's not a great moment, but when you give the ball away against one of the most dangerous attacker like this French attack, yeah, you're basically asking for a lot of trouble. But Varane did head it wide from the corner, but then Lloris absolutely robbed Al Yamek, who tried to score a goal of the tournament with a bicycle kick goal. I mean, I know if he did score this one, there might be even some people might say, well, the Richarlison goal was also incredible, and there maybe be a big competition about that, but this was just an incredible goal if it would went in, because Al Yamek absolutely connect that one well in from the bicycle kick. And Lloris, even though he kind of read this one wrong, or read this one late, somehow he was still able to push that one onto the post. And yeah, France was able to hold on to a 1-0 lead, but you kind of had a sense that the momentum could be with Morocco as they tried to push for the equalizer. And it seems like that was the case, at least in the early part of the second half, because straight off the bat, after Amrabat puts it wide from long range, it was a vicious press from this Moroccan team. Like, they were looking for the equalizer. The fans were making a lot of noise, and it just feels like it's just getting louder and louder as each chances that Morocco has, because, the fans trying to wheel the ball in the back net, but also the fact that France was just getting absolutely killed. Every time when Morocco tried to go on the attack on the left. Like, that left side was just completely exposed, and that I think it was pretty clear that they just desperately need to have a sub to kind of change things on. So I think they brought on Thuram in this game around the 65th minute, and that changed everything, because he immediately provided much more defensive stability for this France team, and that eventually they kind of ride out of that pressure, giving up no goals and not really a lot of shots. And they also have some great moments on the counter attack too, because Morocco continued to pile man forward looking for this equalizer. There was then three French players try to hit this one in the back post as the cross come in, but neither one was able to put it on target as it missed wide. And then Fofana puts it wide in the near post, but then the 79th minute, this was the dagger, as Moani would score the second goal for France in this one. A lot of credit has to go to Kylian Mbappe, because he absolutely done a couple of Moroccan defender before putting a ball that was actually deflected, which is why he's not going to get credit for the assist. But still, what a great play there from Mbappe. And that, yeah, Moani, who just literally came on 1 minute into this game. That was probably his first touch, and it's in the back of the net. I mean, that's a definition of a super sub moment there. And yeah, that gives France a 2-0 lead. And as soon as that second goal went in, the stadium just completely gone silence, except for a pocket of French supporter. I mean, when you look at that crowd, it was pretty much 90 to 10 in favor of Morocco. It was a sea of red inside that stadium, besides a couple of blue kind of jersey from those French supporter, and pockets of French supporter in their own end. But yeah, I mean, it was just a hostile environment that France has to face, and that makes it even more impressive. You got to consider where, I know France are the defending World Cup champion, but to play in a hostile environment like this for the semi-final and able to get through, just to show you how dangerous this French team can be. But in the 87th minute, Abu Khaled would then hit one right to Lloris as the flag went up, before there was a mad rush at the French box, and it was actually Koundé, the one that was able to clear the ball off the line as the ball was pinball in the French box. And, even though at that point you might think maybe it was just a consolation for Morocco, you never know. I mean, in this tournament, we have seen chaos, and I thought that we maybe will see chaos again in the semifinal, but it was not meant to be, as in the end, France moving on into their second consecutive World Cup final with a 2-0 win over Morocco. The shots in this one, 14 shots compared to 13 that Morocco has. Both teams had 3 shots on goal, 6 shots off target for the 5 that Morocco has. Both teams had 5 shots that was blocked, and possession-wise, 39% possession compared to 61% possession that Morocco has, and France becoming the first team since Brazil did it back in 94 and 98 to reach back-to-back World Cup final. Though you know that they're gonna try to avoid what the last team that reached back-to-back World Cup final fave, which is Brazil. Even though they won that 94 World Cup, they eventually lost that 98 World Cup final. And guess which team they lost that World Cup final? Oh yeah, it's France in this one. So yeah, they're definitely going to try to make some history in terms of that World Cup final. And not to mention, the storyline is set. It's Messi versus Mbappe, and you kind of had a sense that it's kind of like the person that many people have said is the industrial GOAT of the sports against a guy that could be incoming to be that next player that could be labeled as the GOAT of the sport in Mbappe, and that is going to be a mouth-watering kind of matchup. But again, this does not take anything away from what Morocco has done in this tournament. I mean, it's just been an incredible tournament. This is going to be a tournament that's going to be talked about or the run that they've been in going to be talked about for many years. But as much as, even though I won't see a Morocco versus Croatia World Cup final, which I was hoping that was the case because I want absolute chaos, maximum chaos in this World Cup final, at least I'll see it in the third place game. And even though I know the third place game doesn't mean that much, and it's kind of one of those games that always labeled the game that nobody wants to play into, I still want to see kind of that matchup, and especially how both of these teams have made incredible run, and this is a chance for them to finish off in a high note of winning that game. But certainly in that game between France and versus Argentina, yeah, that's going to be an interesting a game between two really good team in this tournament, and we'll see whether at the end of that night is the storyline going to be Messi finally labeled as the industry GOAT of this game, finally winning the World Cup for his country, or are we going to see France become back-to-back champion for the first time since I think Brazil did it all the way back in the 60s. I mean, there's a reason why it's so hard to defend a World Cup title, and that we always talk about the curse of World Cup defending World Cup teams fail in the next round. That doesn't seem like the case for France, and they're trying to put that curse once and for all, if they can of course win that World Cup. But we shall see how that's going to be on Sunday. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys see a like, smash the subscribe button, as we're now down to just the last 2 games in this World Cup before we will have to wait once again. Not exactly 4 years. I mean, it's actually technically 3.5 years before the next World Cup game that's going to be taking place here in North America. But still, it's a very long wait, and that I think we just got to say that we just got to enjoy what's left in this World Cup, even though I know there's been a lot of controversy that's been surrounding this World Cup. I think in the end, you still got to enjoy it, because again, we're not going to see this until 2026. But either way, hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, make sure you guys see a like, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.